How to beat QPR? That's the question we are asking our Derby fans this week. Bad memories of QPR. They won't reminding of that Zamora goal. We'll be talking about that and just how do the Rams pick up their first 3 points away from home this Saturday. Welcome to Where Rams Walk. We've got Peyton and John hopefully joining us soon. This is the quickest and fastest, most comprehensive view of all things Derby on the internet. We'll roll the titles. You please hit subscribe and we'll talk all about QPR versus Derby in the EFL this Saturday. Welcome back, Peyton. How are you, fella?
All right.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to ask you to talk about QPR game. And second, we're also going to be asking them to review the last game, of course, as well, and the controversy that surrounded the first defeat at home from 10 games, and that was the travesty that happened against Norwich City. And well, I'm sure Peyton will have a few things to say about that. All right, let's bring John in as well, and we will get straight into it. Peyton, you were probably too young to remember that Zamora goal, but if we ask most Derby fans, that's the goal that gives them the most heartbreak, of course. Have you talked to your parents and people about what happened against QPR in that final?
Well, I mean, I was a young fan when that goal went in, but none of my family support Derby, weirdly, so I'm the only one. But people I go to Derby with said about that Zamora goal. Obviously, they were there at Wembley when it happened, and it was horrible. But, you know, we've had a lot of poor luck, shall we say, and it seems to be piled on by many people, especially employees of the EFL. But, you know.
John, do you remember that Zamora goal?
I remember it very well. I was there. We travelled down at 6 o'clock in the morning, made a day of it. We're in London. Went to Leicester Square, and you know, it was a good atmosphere. Build to the game. That was a hard one to take, really. You know, it was the worst time you can score a goal, but we were the best side. We, you know, on the day, and we played really well, and that's great thing. It was horrible when it went in. It was, you know, I mean, you saw their end go so euphoric with happiness. Looked at our end, absolute shock. A hard one to take. I accept the Villa one wasn't as bad because I think they pretty much deserved to win that game on the day. But the PR game was a horrible one to take, really. Especially after the game, we stayed behind. We were up to Wembley Way. We were just surrounded by QPR fans on the way back, so which was great. But it was a bad day, and it happens in football. So you know, we always owe these one.
Yes, you last won at Loftus Road in 2021. I want to just have a look at the team that was playing in that game for a second. I mean, it's many of them. A few of them are still here. But it's a completely different side and different setup. Peyton, when you look at that side that beat QPR a couple of seasons ago, how does it compare to the side that we've been watching for 7 games this season? Which one would win if they're facing each other?
I believe that is actually from the season that we very, very just about scraped survival. And that was a very horrible season. And there was a lot of horrible players in that season. And there's quite a lot of them in that team. I mean, George Evans playing at centre-back. That's an interesting one. Andre Wisdom in through. Josviak. I mean, the fact that Kazim Richards is the only goal scorer probably doesn't surprise me because he was the only person doing anything at that time. But it was a hard time to be a Derby fan, and I think the fact that we won is quite surprising.
John, this brings back bad memories for you, this side?
Credit to all the players, to be fair, because it was a weak side in that. I mean, I look at that now, and Clark at West Brom, Buchanan's at Birmingham. There's only a couple of championship players. There's one champion left who's playing now, which is Jason Knight, who plays for Bristol. So Jason Knight, Matt Clark, and the rest aren't, well, they're lower than the champion. So, yeah. But I think we did, was it 1-0 on the, I can't remember the score, 1-0. Who scored? Was it Shinnie?
He won
Cousin
2-1 it was, yeah.
Cousin Richardson, an own
2-1.
goal.
2-1, yeah. Okay, let's jump back to the present day then, shall we? Because now we're in happier times when we discuss Derby County. So let's have a chat then about that Norwich result. I'll let you two talk to each other first if you can. John, your line isn't great, so we'll try and stay with you as long as we possibly can on this one. We'll talk about the refereeing decisions in a minute, I promise. But in terms of the football, Peyton, what impressed you, what didn't impress you?
I thought we were all right. I can't say it's the best performance we've had at home, and I can't say it's the worst, but I think we weren't amazing. I think we should have got a draw out of the game. And if you look at really the goals that should have been disallowed, we should have had our second disallowed. Collins was definitely interfering with the goalkeeper. And obviously, both of their ones went out of play, which is horrible. But they scored one goal from our poor defending, which, not good enough. I've got to say it. But it happens. It's a great goal. And our equaliser was well worked from a corner. 1-1 on the day. I don't think anyone would have complained.
John, you go along with that?
Yeah, I mean, leading up to their first goal, I thought we had a 5 minutes where we were sloppy, we were giving the ball away, which hence we lost the ball on the halfway, and they scored. They scored to God, but they still, we still created that. However, I thought second half. I mean, you're looking for a reaction. Play 4-3-3. If you don't press high, 4-3-3 can easily 5-1 like last week. But they were more aggressive in the play. They were dropping on second balls. They were moving the ball quickly. Both teams playing for a neutral. That must have been an enjoyable game because both teams went at it. Their second goal was a bit of quality. However, we lost out on a couple of 50-50s leading to their second goal. But give the players some credit. What a great goal that was! Top goal. But it was a good game. And I agree with Payton. It should have been 1-1, 2-1. It was definitely a draw. Even the Norwich fans accepted it. I come out the ground. I mean, against Middlesbrough, thinking we can't sustain this and get points. Now I come out of the Norwich game and think go for top 6, and we compete. And we compete. We look like a side that if we continue to play like that, I think these lone players are going to grow. The lad T who came on thought he was brilliant with his possession, his pattern, and we look good on the impact. Colleague Blackett Taylor scored, so I think there's a lot more to come from this side. Like we always say, as long as we have moments, as long as we look like we're going for a win or we're going to create a foothold in a game, and as long as we keep that 1 point across the season, we'll be fine this season. But it was a good entertaining game, and credit to fans. I thought Norwich fans had some banter with them. It was overall it was a good game. So onwards and upwards and onto that.
Okay. We're cutting out a lot there, John, but we got the gist of it. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, then. You want to discuss it. I know you do, so let's get on with it. Clarkey says 33,000 fans knew that ball was out. The only two that didn't see it were the two thick, whatever, wearing black whose job it is. He also went and said if we had this ref and Lino last week, they'd probably have thought Ibua's miss went in. Peyton, it's not just a bad error, is it? It's a monumentally bad error.
I mean, it's so poor, and I think it makes it worse the fact that it's on Sky and the fact that everyone who has Sky and is going to watch the football at 12:30. Imagine being in the pub and it's on Sky. Everyone saw that, and everyone saw how horribly wrong the linesman got it. And I think the fact that he was stood on the corner flag when the goal went in as well, it's not a standard that the Championship should be at. This is the second best league in England. If you get promoted from this, you're in the Premier League. Like, If you're having that
Yeah.
refereeing decision go for you, you know, every other week, no disrespect to Norwich, they're a great side, and I feel like they're going to be up there next season, up there this season, and maybe even up in the Premier League next season. But if they get promoted because of something like that, they're going to go into the Premier League and then get battered every week, and they're not going to deserve to be there. And it's not fair for a team who miss out because of a poor refereeing decision. And I mean, it happened in the Premier League with VAR, and I think Sheffield United got relegated because of it. But
yeah, it's the same. It's the same linesman who should have disallowed your goal for the offside as well. It's the same end, isn't it? So clearly, someone's going to get demoted this weekend. But John, do you have any sympathies with the officials on this one?
No, I sympathise with the referee. You can't see it because the linesman there to support the and the decision. I mean, it was like we're talking about. I thought this is how to play. I mean, where I was sat, it was weird. I looked at the referee, and he was like stood still. The Derby players were at him, and I was like thinking, which players didn't celebrate initially, and it was weird because he gave the goal, and I was how bad it was until I watched the replay at home, and like Peyton says, the championship offers a chance to be in the most leading world prize in football, isn't it, going up?
All right, John was losing you a minute, John. Sorry.
Right. All right.
It's really difficult to tell what you're saying.
VAR should come into the future.
Okay, I think we got that last sentence as VAR should come into the championship. Comment below if you think it would have helped. For me, the VAR is you don't need VAR for that call. That's not even marginal. That ball is out, and that linesman should have had his flag up straight away. Right, thank you very much, both of you. Enjoy your weeks, busy weeks as they are. We'll review the QPR game with you next week. Subscribe, thank you if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you both next week. Thank you very much.